Hello. My name is Pat, and I am here to tell you about oligarchy. Oligarchy, from Greek, oligarcha. From, olgos, meaning a few, and, archo, meaning to rule or to command, is a form of power structure in which power effectively rests with a small number of people. These people could be distinguished by royalty, wealth, family ties, education, corporate, or military control. Such states are often controlled by a few prominent families who pass their influence from one generation to the next. Throughout history, some oligarchies have been tyrannical, relying on public servitude to exist, although others have been relatively benign. Aristotle pioneered the use of the term as a synonym for rule by the rich, for which the exact term is plutocracy. But oligarchy is not always a rule by wealth, as oligarchs can simply be a privileged group, and do not have to be connected by bloodlines as in a monarchy. Some city-states from ancient Greece were oligarchies. Some other examples include the former Soviet Union, where only members of the Communist Party were allowed to vote or hold office; the French First Republic government under the Directory; and the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, where only the nobility could vote. In the time of the ancient Greeks, Sparta was an oligarchy that clashed with the democratic city-state of Athens. These two nations eventually clashed in the Peloponnesian War, in which Sparta defeated Athens, causing the city-state to rule much of Greece for some time. A modern example of oligarchy could be seen in South Africa during the 20th century. Here, the basic characteristics of oligarchy are particularly easy to observe, since the South African form of oligarchy was based on race. After the Second Boer War, a tacit agreement or understanding was reached between English and Afrikaans-speaking whites. Together, they made up about 20% of the population, but this small percentage ruled the vast non-white and mixed-race population. Whites had access to virtually all the educational and trade opportunities, and they proceeded to deny this to the black majority even further than before. Although this process had been going on since the mid-17th to 18th century, after 1948 it became official government policy and became known worldwide as apartheid. This lasted until the arrival of democracy in South Africa in 1994, punctuated by the transition to a democratically elected government dominated by the black majority. Since the collapse of the Soviet Union on December 31, 1991, privately owned Russia-based multinational corporations, including producers of petroleum, natural gas, and metal, have become oligarchs. Privatization allowed executives to amass phenomenal wealth and power almost overnight. In May 2004, the Russian edition of Forbes identified 36 of these oligarchs as being worth at least $1 billion.
A well-known fictional oligarchy is represented by the party in George Orwell's novel 1984.